Namaste, my darlings. Welcome to the mat and welcome to this online coven. So for those who are new here, my name is Bethany and I am the Yogi Witch, and thank you for allowing me to guide you through today's new moon practice. So in today's flow, entitled Reset and Reflect, we are going to go through a really gorgeous slow flow and deep yoga body stretch while combining this with a magical practice of journaling. So throughout this flow, there's going to be some journaling prompts that are going to pop up on the screen, and you can choose to write down your answers. Maybe you choose to reflect on them in the mind, anything that feels good to you, but it's going to be a really gorgeous 30 minutes coming together as an online community. So for today's practice, all you need is a block or a book or a pillow, and you might need a book of shadows or a diary, whatever it is that you use to journal. But get yourself sorted, my darlings. Grab anything you need, and when you're ready, we will meet together on the mat to honor the new moon. Okay, my darling, so to begin today's practice, you're going to come into a comfortable seated position using your block to place underneath the sit bones, creating a long line of energy from the crown of the head all the way to the base of the spine. Flipping those palms towards the sky, you're going to rest the back of the hands onto the knees and roll the shoulders away from the ears. Beginning today's practice by taking an inhale through the nose and a slow exhale all the way out. And if you're working with sage or Palo Santo or even incense, you might choose now to light it. I am actually working with a Palo Santo incense stick today, so I'm going to light mine now. Know that I'm sending all this beautiful cleansing smoke from my sacred space to yours. As we come together as a beautiful online coven to create magic through our movement and through our meditation. So giving ourselves a few moments here to balance out the breath, balancing out our inhales with our exhales. So start to bring in that sense of relaxation and that sense of rebalance, resetting the nervous system, resetting the mind, and most importantly, resetting the spirit. So before we begin today's practice truly, we're going to start to call to Mother Moon to lend us her energies. So you can choose just to listen to my words, or you can choose to repeat them out loud. But wherever you are, we're going to raise our hands to the sky, palms face up towards the moon. Take a beautiful deep inhale through the nose. And a slow exhale all the way out. When you're ready. Mother Goddess of the Moon, please lend us your energy to help us create magic as we move. We are earth, air, water and fire. Please lend us your energies to help heal our souls and manifest our heart's desires. Taking an inhale through the nose and an exhale all the way out. Relaxing the palms back to the lap, flip towards the sky. The first journal prompt is going to come onto the screen now. You can choose to reflect on this in the mind. You can choose to reflect on it by writing it down in your book of shadows. But taking the time now to answer honestly what it is the prompt is asking you, and start to manifest a little bit of magic through intention. If you need a little bit longer, you can press pause. Or if you're ready to keep flowing, bring the hands to heart center. Inhale to find our length. Exhale to find our space by twisting over to the left-hand side and opening these arms wide here. Pulling back on this left hand to find your space. Bring the hands to prayer. Inhale to move to the center. Exhale, take your twist over to the right-hand side and open up these arms. Beautiful. Bring the hands back to heart center with control. We're going to take a little lean over to the left-hand side, bending at the elbow, and reach the right arm up and overhead here. Finding a side body stretch. Before we roll through center, right hand comes to the mat beside us, and we reach the left arm up and overhead. Beautiful. Moving into the center, we interlock the fingers behind the back. Pop the chest open before sending the fingertips all the way over to the right hand side. And we're going to take our gaze to the left. Inhale, move through center, pop the heart chakra open. And then exhale, fingertips over to the left hand side, gaze over to the right. Beautiful. Pop this chest back open. Maybe bringing the fingertips to the mat. We're not going to drop the head back here. We're just going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Find our back bend for 3, for 2, and for 1. Beautiful. Release the fingertips and we gently find our way to an all fours position. So rolling over those knees, stacking the shoulders just above the wrists, hip bones above the knees. We're going to take a few cat-cow movements here. So inhaling to drop that chest, gaze forwards. Exhale to curve the spine, bring the chin to the chest. Beautiful. Close the eyes here, rooting down through those fingers and through the tops of the feet. Keep taking your movements. Finding a little bit of fluidity between each stretch. Inhaling to drop the chest. Exhaling to curve. Beautiful. Before we bring the body into a neutral position, bring the big toes to touch, and we're going to take those knees as wide as the mat here, settling the hips all the way back to the heels and finding the block we've been working with once more. We're going to come into a little bit of a self-love hug here in our child's pose. So relaxing the head down, so the forehead sits on top of that block between the space of the eyebrows. You're going to slide the right arm to the left-hand side, slide the left arm over to the right, bend the elbows, and give yourself, oh hello Loopies, a little hug here. So the new moon is a time of healing. It is a time of new beginnings, of reflection. So maybe this is the first time you found the way to the mat in a while because of anxieties, because of stress. Hello, darling. Where's your boardies? We're just going to give ourselves a beautiful hug for any emotions that arise now. Forgiving ourselves of any past mistakes. Forgiving ourselves of any decisions perhaps that we regret. Perhaps any decisions we regret not making at all. So we're going to relax here for 10 more breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. Before we relax the right hand, relax the left and slide both hands out, keeping that space between the hips, stretching out that lower spine, connecting with the root chakra. The second journal prompt is going to pop up onto the screen. Take your time to answer it. Take your time to be honest. Remember, no one's going to read this. This is just you and your thoughts. So answer it as true and as raw as you can. You are in a safe space here. If you need a little bit longer, my loves, press pause here. Or if you're happy to keep flowing, we inhale through the nose. And on your exhale, press the hands to the mat and roll the belly all the way into your tabletop position. Bring the knees close together, and from here, working with the block, we're going to bend one elbow to the block. Bend another, bringing the hands to prayer and moving into a deep shoulder stretch here. We're going to shimmy the head between the shoulders, coming onto the forehead here. A beautiful deep stretch for those shoulders. So tucking the toes under to give yourself a little bit of support. There's no journal prompt here. It is simply this pose. So embrace it for what it is. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Connecting with that third eye chakra, opening up that heart chakra. Connecting heaven to earth here. Three more breaths. And then to move out of this pose, we're going to move slowly. By gently pressing into those elbows to lift your head through the arms, and then shift your weight forwards, pressing one hand to the mat, pressing another, and give yourself a few little stretches in your cat pose here. So really pressing the ceiling away before releasing the spine. Press the ceiling away. And then release the spine. One more time. Press the ceiling away. Hold the stretch for 3, for 2, And for 1, bring the body to a neutral position, finding our way into our pigeon pose here. We're going to slide the right knee up to that right wrist and guide the foot over to the left hand side. Tuck the left toes under, we slide all the way back, and we're going to pop a block underneath this right hip now to give ourselves the support. Inhaling to find length through the crown of the head. And on your exhale, you're going to move onto the forearms here. The 3rd journal prompt is going to pop onto the screen in a moment. So once again, take your time to answer it. Be honest, be truthful. Remember, this is your practice. Remember, this is your practice. If you need longer, press pause. If you're ready to come out, we inhale to lift the gaze. Exhale to move on to the palms connecting with the earth beneath us, and find a little back bend here. So you can choose to stay here in your back bend, or maybe you follow me to a little bit of a hamstring stretch by bending that back leg and drawing that heel closer to the hip bone. If you have King Pigeon, you might choose to come to King Pigeon now by flipping the grip and opening up the shoulders. For 3, for 2, and for 1, release the back leg down. Whew. And then we gently tuck left toes under, slide that right leg out, and press the toes to the mat, push the heel away. Beautiful. Before we relax the right leg, pivot left toes over to the left hand side. We slide the right leg all the way out and find our way to a modified wild thing here. Open up the heart for 3, for 2, and for 1. Flip the body back to center, and let's take this practice to the other side. Slide left knee to the left wrist and guide the foot across, giving ourselves the space by moving the right leg all the way back. So place that block underneath the left hip here to give ourselves the support, or if you're able to work without, you can work without. But lowering all the way onto the forearms, the 4th journal prompt is going to pop up onto the screen, taking your time to answer it. Recognize, be honest, be true. Remember, intention is the most important practice in all of witchcraft and in yoga. Remember, if you need longer physically, emotionally, either in the pose or to journal, press pause. If you're happy to follow me, we gently lift the gaze forwards and then move all the way up. Beautiful, finding our mini back bend. You can stay here in mini back bend, or you can bend the back leg to find your way into that hamstring stretch. If you want to explore your king pigeon, you can flip the grip and explore your king pigeon pose. Holding your pose for 3, for 2, and for 1. Release the back leg here. Press the hands to the mat. Oh, that king pigeon is very sore for the shoulders for me today. Oh, too much stress. Slide the left leg back and press into the heel. Give yourself a gorgeous stretch here. Beautiful. Before we bring ourselves to center, pivot the right foot over to the right hand side. Find your way to a modified wild thing by simply sliding the left leg behind. Open up the heart for 3, for 2, and for 1. Flip back into the mat. And from here, we're going to slide hips to heels, knees come close together, and relax the body down into a restorative child's pose once more. Now you can slide one hand down by your side, you can slide another. This time we're not going to use the block, we're going to come as deep as possible just to round out those shoulders, just to relax here for the few final 10 breaths. Now remember, a yoga practice doesn't have to be long or intense, and a magical practice doesn't have to be fancy or complicated. What we search for in yoga and in witchcraft is intention. So today we are bringing intention to the mat. Before we inhale and exhale, slide the hands forward, roll the body to tabletop, cross those ankles, and move into our seated position. Final journal prompt is going to pop onto the screen, so take your time answering this big one. Be honest and be true. This is what we want from the new moon. This is where we harness all the power that we created through the magic of movement, through meditation and through journaling. So once you've answered it, you're going to join me and find your way to your Shavasana, lying all the way flat on the back. Remember, there's no rush. Take your time, and I'll see you in your Shavasana in just a moment. Once you've answered your final prompt, then come to meet me in Shavasana for a final few moments. Letting the body rest heavy into the mat beneath you, embracing the sense of peace and rebalance in your mind, body and soul. If you need longer in your Shavasana, then I invite you to stay here, completely letting go and giving yourself as long as you need here. If you're happy to move out with me, then reach those arms up and overhead. Give yourself a full body stretch here, pointing the fingers, pointing the toes, before we bend the knees and allow the body to roll to one side of our mat, bringing ourselves into a comfortable seated position. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to bring the hands to heart center in prayer. Lovely long line of energy, our chakras aligned and activated, our heart open to receive, and our soul and mind beginning to heal. And as always, as this online community, we're going to close this practice together with a beautiful deep inhale. And on your exhale, bow low with gratitude to ourselves, to the online community, and as always to Mother Moon for the energy that she lent us for today's practice and for all the blessings that she brings us. Thanking you so much, my darlings, for joining me here for today's new moon practice. I really hope that not only were you able to find space in the body, but these journal prompts allowed you to feel a sense of peace in the mind and a sense of kind of rebalance by releasing the things that we no longer need and welcoming in the things that we deserve. Don't forget, my darlings, I do upload a new moon and a full moon practice every month, as well as 3 free flows a week. And if you really enjoyed coming together as an online community, why not take the time, bye Luna, to join the COVEN, a brand new membership area here on my YouTube channel. Details are below. But thanking you so much, darlings, from the bottom of my heart, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Blessed be.